This is Star right here.
Captain Scott Averill has been tending to these horses for more than a decade, and over the years he's bonded with them and knows their traits and their temperament.
This horse here, you'll notice, is the dominant horse of the herd.
Okay.
So he's the one that you'll watch. Whenever he's around, the other horses will go away.
He's in charge of the mounted patrol for the Sand Springs Police Department. But beginning July 1st, this program, along with a canine unit, will no longer be funded.
It's just one of those things that sometimes sacrifices have to be made, and there's economic times now that we haven't seen in my entire career. So things have to change, and you have to kind of make do with what you got. And so I would much rather see programs like this be sacrificed than people lose their jobs, definitely.
Sand Springs Police Chief Mike Carter agrees. He says with an 11% cut to their budget, it comes down to spending priorities. The two programs are very much needed, but having officers to work the streets is critical.
And right now we're 4 officers down, and that being, we have to prioritize where we allocate that manpower. And we can't justify having a mounted patrol when we're having trouble covering the shift that needs to be covered.
Carter says they have frozen the positions of employees that have left or retired. Also, officers have agreed to concessions such as uniform allowances and in some cases a cut in pay. The 2 canine handlers will keep their dogs. They just won't be compensated for them anymore. He says in many ways they'll be going back to the basics of law enforcement.
Good old-fashioned police work. Before we ever had a canine, we were finding dope. And we're going to continue to find dope. And so no one should misconstrue this to be that because we don't have a canine at this time that you can, feel free to have your dope and run around Sand Springs. We're going to find your dope, and we will prosecute you just like we always have.
It just won't be done with the use of canine officers or a mounted patrol. Averill says the biggest loss of no longer having the horses is not being able to have that same connection with the community.
And it also is a huge PR tool. So we're able to interact with the public on these horses unlike any other thing that the police profession has. And just about any agency will tell you that.
2 of the horses are individually owned by officers already. The 3 owned by the city will be up for adoption. In Sand Springs, I'm Angela Rosecrans, the Oklahoma News Report.